my YouTube 2012 top 10 documentaries that I saw in 2012. Doesn't mean it necessarily came out in 2012, it just means that I watched it last year. Keep in mind the type of documentaries that I like are slice of life, living on the edge type documentaries. And the reason I like those is you sit there and you watch these people go through their situations that they're in. They're pretty rough in a lot of cases. You see the decisions they make, and I like to put myself in their position and say, what would I do if I was in that tough situation? And aside from just basic entertainment, you learn a little bit about yourself. So that being said, let's get started. Top 10 YouTube 2012 documentaries. At the number 10, this is an oldie but a goodie, and yes, I just saw it last year. One of my favorite genre of documentary is science, specifically universe documentaries. And there's plenty of them on YouTube, including this one, which is also on Netflix. If you have it on Netflix, I suggest you watch it there instead, though. It's just a lot simpler because there's a lot of episodes, and it's a lot simpler to get to them and watch the ones you want or go in order, either way. Of course, Carl Sagan's Cosmos. And it's, like I said, it's early 80s, but it still holds up so well today, and it's amazing. The graphics obviously aren't that good, but it doesn't really need it because his explanations are so engrossing. It just captures your imagination, and you can tell he's really into it too, so it makes for an interesting watch. So number 10, Carl Sagan's Cosmos. Number 9, the Cannibal Warlords of Liberia. And as the title suggests, this is on the Vice channel, by the way. It's about cannibal warlords in Liberia that eat people, kids, babies, before they go into battle. You know, it's some disturbing stuff, but it does definitely make for good entertainment, so check that one out too. Number 8 is Ross Kemp in Afghanistan. Ross Kemp is an excellent reporter, journalist. He has a bunch of other excellent series, so make sure you check those out. A good place to start, though, is Ross Kemp in Afghanistan, and there's another follow-up to that, Ross Kemp Returns to the Front Line. You know, if you enjoy the first one, make sure you check out all the second one and check out all his other work. Number 7, Prostitution Behind the Veil. And this is a story, it's about prostitution in Iran, if you can believe it. And it's very enlightening. It's very revealing about how life is in Iran for women particularly, and then especially for, you know, prostitutes in Iran. It's not what you expect. And there's some very interesting moments in here that will definitely surprise you. So make sure you check that out. Okay, number 6 is Popped in Oakland. It's labeled Part 2. I didn't find a Part 1. I didn't find a Popped in Oakland Part 1. But this Popped in Oakland Part 2 it seems to me like an all-encompassing, reliant documentary. It doesn't seem like it even requires a Part 1. So check that out. It's basically about, the gang life, if you want to call it the gang life, the hyphy life, whatever it's called. And it's about, people getting shot and people getting killed. And the end of the video will surprise you because some of the people that they talk to, they didn't make it long after the video. So number 5, I watched this on Netflix, but it is on YouTube, and it's called Victory Afghanistan. And basically, this gives you a real nice rundown of how the people from Afghanistan are conducting themselves in this war in Afghanistan. And like I said, it's very enlightening. And I mean, basically, people hear about how it is, but this shows you how it is, and it's a very good documentary. Check that out. Number 4 is Louis Theroux's Miami Mega Jail. Louis Theroux is another journalist that has a lot of good series. Check those out. A notable honorable mention would be Louis Theroux's he hangs out with the Nazis. Another one is where he hangs out with the Westboro Baptist Church. Check those out, but the one that you want to see that's on this list, Miami Mega Jail, which is basically about one of the toughest jails I've seen as far as documentaries go in the United States, and it's no joke, and it's something. This is definitely one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, so check that out. Number 3 is Risking It All, Brazil. This is part of a series that's on Al Jazeera English. There's a few other Risking It Alls, different countries that are really good as well. Check those out, please. But the one that I'm putting here that I felt was the best was Risking It All Brazil. And this is basically about these kids in Brazil that live on the river, and they're 8 years old, and they're going off by themselves in these little canoes, and they're hooking up to these big ferry boats that go down the river like at 20 knots, and it's very dangerous, and they're doing this by themselves. And then they sell their little, you know, fruits or vegetables or whatever they have to the people that are on the ferry, and then they disconnect like maybe the next day from the boat, and then they have to go back down the river to their house to start all over again. And these, like I said, these are kids doing this. And when they're hooking up to the boats are all, you know, moving all over the place. They're losing half of their product over the edge. It was really amazing that this is even possible. All right, so check that out. Number 2, BBC's Welcome to Lagos. This is a very long documentary. It's about the city of Lagos, the biggest city in Nigeria. And basically, it's about how people live in this city. They live in conditions that I would never want to live in. You know, there's people that live on garbage dumps. Literally, their shack is built on garbage, and their jobs are just to go around picking up different types of metals out of the garbage to sell back at pennies on the pound or whatever it is to whoever. And it follows a bunch of different people, actually. One of the guys, his job is he goes out into the river and he dives down to the riverbed and he scoops up silt in a bucket, and then he takes it up back to this boat and he just dumps it, and he does it all day, and he's doing this with just shorts and the bucket. He doesn't have any other equipment, and that's his job, and he does that for, you know, pennies on the hour or pennies on the bucket or whatever it is. But it's pretty crazy. You just go up and down all day. And there's quite a few other interesting characters in that one. Like I said, it's very long, has a bunch of multiple videos, but check it out. It's at my number 2 spot for a reason. And the number 1 YouTube 2012 top 10 documentary would be 18th Street Gang Story. And this is basically about these 18th Street gangsters in El Salvador, San Salvador, the city. And it's just these guys, they don't hold back. They tell you about murdering people and robbing people, and it follows them as they do they do some of this, and then it goes into the jails, the 18th Street jail. And, you know, there's some other characters that tell you, you know, their lifestyle in the gang, and it's just really revealing about, you know, this is how people live, actually. And it's something to open your eyes to what's going on in different parts of the world. So definitely check that out. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. If anybody, you know, if people actually watch this, then I will put links to all these down in the section for links. So until I get an audience, though, just go search for them on YouTube. All right, take care.